You sit down at your desk. You have a list of things to do. You know exactly what needs to be done. But as you stare at the screen, nothing happens. It feels like there is a thick pane of frosted glass between you and your thoughts. You try to reach for a word, but it slips away. Try to focus on a sentence, but you have to read it 3 times just to understand it. You aren't exactly tired you've slept, but you aren't fully awake either. You are stuck in the gray zone. Call this brain fog. For years, people were told that brain fog was just in their imagination. Or they were told it was just a sign of getting older. But neuroscience tells us a very different story. Brain fog is not a personality flaw. It is not laziness. It is a physiological signal. It is your brain's check engine light flashing red. Welcome back to part 2 of our Neuroscience Basics series. In our last episode, we met the CEO of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, and discussed how it handles decision-making. But what happens when the CEO's office is filled with smoke? Today, we are exploring topic 19, why brain fog happens. To understand brain fog, we need to introduce you to a tiny, overlooked cell in your brain. For a long time, scientists focused only on neurons, the cells that transmit electrical signals. But neurons only make up about half of your brain. The other half is made up of glial cells, and among these, there is a special type called microglia. Think of microglia as the brain's gardeners and security guards combined. When your brain is healthy, their job is to prune unnecessary connections and clean up metabolic waste. They keep the garden tidy, but they are also the immune system of the brain. They are constantly scanning for threats, viruses, bacteria, or damage. Here is the crucial mechanism. When microglia detect a threat, they stop being gardeners. They transform into soldiers. They become inflamed. They release inflammatory chemicals called cytokines to attack the invader. This inflammation is good if you actually have a brain infection. But in the modern world, our microglia are being tricked. They are being triggered into a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation by things that aren't actually viruses. What triggers them? The list is surprisingly familiar. There's chronic stress. High levels of cortisol signal to the microglia that the body is under attack. The immune system ramps up, causing inflammation in the brain. This slows down the conduction speed of your neurons. It's a slow feeling you have. That is literally your neural signals moving slower through an inflamed environment. Second, diet. We talked about the gut-brain axis in a previous episode. If you have a leaky gut from eating too much processed food or sugar, toxins from your intestines leak into your bloodstream. When these toxins reach the brain, the microglia go crazy. They perceive these food toxins as invaders and launch an inflammatory attack. So, that donut you ate for breakfast might be the biological cause of your inability to focus at 2 p.m. Third, lack of sleep. Your brain has a sewage system called the Glymphatic System. It only turns on when you are in deep sleep. It washes away the metabolic trash that builds up during the day. If you don't sleep enough, that trash remains. It clogs up the delicate machinery of your neurons, leading to that heavy, foggy sensation. When your brain is inflamed, it shuts down non-essential functions to save energy. And guess what the brain considers non-essential? Complex, abstract thinking, creativity, motivation, emotional regulation. The brain goes into survival mode. It says we don't have the energy to write a novel or solve a complex problem right now. We're just trying to survive this inflammation. This is why brain fog feels so paralyzing. It is your biology forcing you to stop. But there is good news. Because brain fog is largely driven by inflammation, it is reversible. When you calm the microglia down, the fog lifts. How do we do that? We stop hitting the alarm button. We reduce the incoming threats. This means managing stress to lower cortisol. It means healing the gut so toxins stop leaking into the blood. It means prioritizing sleep so the glymphatic system can wash the trash away. It also means looking at the fuel we put into the engine. Sometimes the fog isn't just about inflammation. Sometimes it is a power failure. Imagine a city where the power grid is flickering. The lights are dim. The machines run slow. Your brain cells have tiny power plants inside them that generate the energy required for every single thought you have. If these power plants malfunction, the lights in your mind go dim. These power plants are called mitochondria. We often hear about mitochondria in high school biology class as the powerhouse, the cell, but we rarely talk about them in the context of mental health. Yet, the brain consumes 20% of your body's energy, despite being only 2% of its weight. It is the most energy-hungry organ you have. Your mitochondria are weak, your brain is the first organ to suffer. In our next episode, we are going to look at the energy crisis inside your head. We will move to Part 2, Topic 20, Mitochondria and Brain Energy. We will discover how to upgrade your brain's batteries and why energy management is the secret to mental sharpness. For today, take a moment to assess your state. If you feel foggy, don't beat yourself up. Don't call yourself lazy. Acknowledge that your brain is inflamed. It is asking for rest, for better food, and for safety. Give it what it needs, and the clarity will return. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next video.